What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is Rants R Us.
As always, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
Today we're going to be doing remembering Chadwick. This is a video that I hate doing. I know both of us hate doing. Something that we weren't expecting. His passing of his death, and we wanted to, we wanted to kind of touch on it a little bit.
Yeah, I also wanted to wait a little while. Give everybody time to kind of go through the motions before we did this.
Yes, and I just kind of, but I felt like that. Yeah, I know we both felt like that was something that we did have to address, but it's really sad.
Yeah, I've been dreading it.
I think he was, just a great person, or at least from what I know of him.
Yeah,
he was
like
a really
I don't
great
know him
person,
personally, but
that's saying something for stars.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these stars, it just seems like they're just not very original. Seemed like he was. Seemed like genuine. He was a very genuine guy. Yeah. Just by the reaction of his
passing. Of his passing.
Yeah, well, the co-stars, that was
right.
I spent the most time with him.
I felt like he was a really good actor. He played a lot of different roles that I didn't even realize.
42.
He played Jackie Robinson in 42.
I cannot believe that.
Obviously, the Black Panther. He was in A Message from the King. He's been in numerous things.
He was a really, just a really great actor that could really play a lot of different kinds of roles.
Types of roles.
I mean, you go from Jackie Robinson to the Black Panther, and you do it with
James
ease.
Brown.
I mean, all this. I mean, he played those parts perfectly, and I think that's going to be the problem from now on with the Black Panther. Is there's no way you're going to be able to recreate that magic.
Okay. You're not just going to be able to recast him. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to give the role of Black Panther to a whole nother character.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way
too. Which is like in the actual story, if he had passed, it would have went to his sister. She would have became the next Black Panther. So that's a thought that they might be doing.
Do you think that's the way they will go?
I hope. That's the way I want it to go, personally. I know you feel differently. I have some friends that want it to be
Killmonger.
I couldn't think of his
I'm for the Killmonger thing.
I'm more with the sister. Like, I want to see that role.
Yeah. Now, I understand that. I mean, I thought she was great in the first one.
But, I mean, to me, it just makes sense because storyline-wise, if he had died in that world, that's what would happen.
It makes sense for Disney and Marvel, let's put it that way, to cast a woman in that role.
Well, I mean, family-wise, that's how it would.
Yeah, I know. I understand. She's going to be the ruler of Wakanda anyway. So, I mean, it's going to go to that anyway. So, I see your point on that. But as far as what I would personally be excited to see, I thought Killmonger was one of the better or the best villain in all of the MCU. Like, I felt that way. Thanos is right up there with him.
Well, Thanos is overrated in my opinion because he was easily beaten. Like, there's too much build up to just sputter out.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, you take the Infinity Stones away and he probably wasn't that.
Yeah, he's nothing. His daughter could have beat his ass.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Thor, But I mean,
honestly, I mean.
But I kind of just feel like it's going to be really hard to replace that magic.
There's no replacing Chadwick Boseman.
And the only way I know to even come close to that is to get the guy that played Michael B. Jordan that played Killmonger and get him in there because I thought fans related to him.
Maybe.
And that's just from a standpoint of. Maybe not a logical standpoint, but just what could maybe work from a fan perspective.
So I really want to see it.
It really could go either way and be just as good.
Either way, I would watch it. I would be for it, but I would have much rather him not passed away and him just continue to be Black Panther. Clearly,
it must have come as a shock to all of them because they were actually fixing to begin filming.
Oh, it was a shock to everyone. No one knew he was even sick.
And that's kind of amazing that you could have a secret like that. And
in this day and time where we live in social media and we live in paparazzi's always taking pictures of you. And
I guess that's the one thing that probably shocked me the most about when I heard his passing, because I was like,
my wife told me about it, and I was like,
I didn't believe it at first.
It was the same thing when Kobe Bryant died. You called me, my wife told me, I was like, y'all full of shit. This is fake news.
Yeah.
Surely.
Well, it's hard sometimes to decipher that, because you see these things on Twitter, you see these things on Facebook.
In the time we live in this social media craze where Morgan Freeman has died like 5 times in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I know. And Tupac's been alive for the last 20.
Elvis has been alive for like 50. I get what you're saying, but
I feel you on that one. I think I was shocked by it. I was even when TMZ reported it, I was kind of like,
when TMZ reports anything, I'm like, believe it. Let me find this somewhere else.
Yeah, I know. I usually wait. It's one of those things. They always say, when I first started screening it, wait until there's like 3 articles that have posted it before you go and do some kind of thing.
I'll be honest with you. What I did is I go and search them on IMDb. If that says they passed away, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, because you can't even trust Wikipedia.
No.
I mean, Wikipedia, because people just put in random things on that. So overall, so that's the way you think that character is going to go. What is the overarching? Is it going to cause any problems for
storyline?
Yeah, for Phase 4.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to set them back, because they're probably going to have to come up with a whole new storyline. I don't think they're going to just be able to put somebody else in the Black Panther role and be like, oh, go face this guy.
I think it'd be really disrespectful. I feel like it would be that.
But,
it's something like if an actor gets fired or something like that, that's a different story.
I do want us to, remember him as not just Black Panther, but all the things he has done, all the roles he has played. He was just an amazing actor. And from what I know, the movies he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
And pray for his family. And
I'm always.
I know his wife is probably shook, man.
He was what, 42?
Something like that.
I was almost kind of shocked that he was as old as. I know when
I thought he was in like his mid-30s, late 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
I did not realize he was in his early 40s, which is still too young to go.
Oh yeah, wait. But if you really think about, from the comic book perspective, the MCU, all of those characters are in their 40s.
Well, I don't mean the actors.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the actors.
I thought you meant in the comic.
Because the guy plays Tony Stark. All this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're all in their 40s, but around that age.
A lot of them are.
But
probably.
they're not up and comers. Let's just put it that way. You don't get into a movie like those being up and comer. But I thought overall,
I don't know how old the guy who plays Spider-Man is. He looks like he's probably like 20-something.
Dude, if I find out he's like 40, I would be shocked. If he's like not 13, I would be like,
I'm sure he's in like his early 20s. But for the general population there, they're probably in their 40s. Like, Mark Ruffalo is probably in his 50s.
Oh yeah, by far.
Or at least he looks it.
But Mark Ruffalo is going to be one that they're probably going to have to replace too in the MCU. I would be shocked if he comes back.
You think he's going to be too old for this?
No, I don't think he's going to be too old. I just feel like he's done his part. I feel like a lot of these actors after the whole Thanos thing, kind of feel like they're like, okay, well, we hit this at its peak. Now from here is probably just going to go down. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be a slow death for the MCU.
Yeah, I kind of hope so, because I'm a DC.
I know, I am too. We've talked about that in previous videos about how,
this is their shot. This is DC's shot.
Yeah, it's DC's shot, but it's not.
Take your shot.
It's after Thanos, you didn't have anything really worked out from that point.
I know they doing
doing a Doctor Strange. They're doing another Captain Marvel.
Guardians of the Galaxy, aren't they?
Yeah, and see, none of those movies is really going to change anything. I personally, unless they bring in Galactus, I kind of feel like I'm personally kind of phased out of it right now. But this changes the whole evolution of it with Chadwick Boseman's death, because this leads to them having to change that character up, possibly changing the storyline of the whole movie.
That's what
because this next movie is gonna, if they have a funeral for him or whatever in the movie, and they pass away off screen and so forth along those lines, and then whoever, his sister or whoever, that
they're gonna have to do something like
they're gonna have to do a whole movie of basically, remembering him, and then going from there. So it's going to change the whole narrative of that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give him an off-screen death to it look like, oh, he just disappeared. Here you go. No, they're not going to do it like that. If they did, that would be extremely disrespectful.
That would be horrible. Like, I would never watch another MCU movie after that.
Yeah, I'd click off of that real quick.
But in this day and age of these actors, there's so many of these actors, they just seem so fake. We've seen so much of this during the coronavirus stuff, them doing the little sing-songy things that they do, trying to just garner attention, things like that. Just fakeness all around. And I felt like he was the one guy that I never thought that with. I felt like he was just a genuine, true guy. Probably a guy you'd probably go have a beer with. I kind of felt that way.
If I drank.
Yeah. I kind of felt like it was that. Yeah, he was that type of guy.
Somebody, I feel like he'd be somebody you'd want to
hang out with. And he was kind of a fun
with. You'd want him around your family, and you want him in your life.
Yeah. And I've seen him on Saturday Night Live. And a lot of these actors will get on Saturday Night Live and they'll just completely bomb it. They're not funny. They're not funny. Charles Barkley's the best example. Oh my goodness, Charles Barkley one is just horrible. But terrible, as he would say.
Sound like it.
But anyways, the way I look at it is he was actually on there and he was naturally just funny. So I mean, that was just I think a little bit of his personality.
I'm not gonna be able to watch even if he's not in it at all. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna be able to watch Black Panther from the rest of my life and not think of Chadwick.
No, you're not. You're probably not gonna watch the MCU from this point on.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I'm gonna
do. I was a fan of 42. If I go and watch that, I'm gonna be like, oh man, this bothers me.
And he was just such an amazing, the depth of his character. And all of those, he took a superhero.
To be completely honest with you, watching Black Panther and stuff like that, I was never like, oh, that's the guy who played Jackie Robinson. I completely
there's a lot of movies.
He was Jackie Robinson. He wasn't.
But see, that shows a great character actor.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, it's like, take Johnny Depp, for instance. Like Johnny Depp, he was Edward Scissorhands for 20 years, and now he's Captain Jack Sparrow in every little thing. That's him. He just takes on that personality and disposition and so forth like that.
I'll tell you when they killed me with Johnny Depp was when they casted him to play the Indian in Lone Ranger.
Yeah, I'm surprised they got away with that. I mean, it rightfully so, because that was crazy. That was bad. But I kind of feel like that's the difference between a great actor and a decent actor.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Johnny Depp.
No, I don't.
There's a lot of movies I enjoyed with Johnny Depp. Like Secret Window was a great movie.
I actually enjoyed him in Sleepy Hollow.
I
know. That's something I didn't.
Hands down, one of my favorite movies of all time had Johnny Depp in it. It was Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, yes. Sweeney Todd was awesome.
But I mean, anyway, Chadwick Boseman, he could. I feel like he could play any role, and you not realize it's the same guy from this, it's the same guy from that.
Yeah.
He's just that kind of actor that
he
takes a role and it becomes he's the role.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. You focus on the role more than the actor that's playing the role. It didn't matter if he had
actor.
Yeah, it didn't matter if he had star power or whatever behind it. Like a lot of these movies, that's what a lot of these movies try to get.
I thought he was breaking out with Black Panther. I didn't realize he had been in all these other things that were great or in my catalog right now.
Yeah, I know.
I got.
But there's so many times that you and I we'll be discussing movies about every couple actors that way.
About Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, God's VJ.
Like, I didn't even.
That was actually I know I did not actually know that was him either.
I didn't recognize it.
But man, did he play a good part in that, and he was funny. He was all of that. Like, now you talk about something that showed his depth.
Yeah.
Was that. Now you could argue that movie in general wasn't great.
I felt that way with him as Jackie Robinson. Like, that was Jackie Robinson. You know, I didn't, like, he played that part phenomenal. And
that
anybody who watched that movie will agree that was just a great movie. And he just, he made that movie so great.
That Jackie
Robinson play that part as well as he did.
That movie was the quintessential movie that you could probably show people that are creators of film of how a character is supposed to be, the struggles that he had to overcome, and get to the peak he was at.
And think about it. Think about it this way, when our kids are old enough to start asking about sports or starting to learn about sports.
That's one of the first movies I'm going to show him.
Your son plays baseball. You're eventually going to show him who Jackie Robinson is, and what are you going to use to show him? 42.
I'm going to use that movie, to get him interested in it. Because I tell you, you don't find very many of those character bio movies like that are usually that good. I know they've tried it with Babe Ruth, and they've tried it with other. And
John Goodman played a good Babe Ruth.
He did, but John Goodman's not. Let's face it, John Goodman's not known for Babe Ruth.
He's known for Roseanne.
But yeah, no. I get what you're saying, but I kind of feel like it's not one of those sports movies that lives.
So I don't feel like Chadwick Boseman is going to be known for Black Panther. I think he's got such a catalog. And he was just a tremendous actor.
Chadwick
Boseman will be missed, I guarantee.
Yeah, he will be missed, and I tell you, you're going to see him really. You're going to realize just how important the Black Panther actually was to the MCU.
How important he was to the MCU. Yeah,
because they're not going to replace him.
No,
with anybody.
If they try,
they're stupid.
Right.
But they couldn't.
I'm gonna tell you now, if they came out and they're like, "Oh, we just recasted him. This is the new guy," I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't even try it.
I would, because there's just a certain level of just being deplorable. That would be kind of being deplorable. That would be the worst cash grab in history by Disney. Or Marvel, if they did that.
Company.
Yeah, if they did something like that. Which I wouldn't put anything past Disney at this point, whether it's with Star Wars or with anything else, because they've proven that they don't care.
Especially with Star Wars. Especially with Star Wars.
But with Marvel, they've taken more kid gloves. They've been.
Now I'll tell you, we've talked before about the Disney killing Star Wars, but in my opinion, Disney's also killed Marvel.
I think they
are working on it pretty good.
I think the beginning, and this is where we've had our arguments with Captain Marvel. I feel like Captain Marvel.
Let me get this straight. I am not a Brie Larson fan.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I don't think you were noticing at first kind of the hints that they were trying to, because you weren't seeing the background. You were like, that's a good movie, and she played a good part in that. I'll give you that. But when you start seeing the background and stuff, and when Disney was like, oh, we're trying to go more towards this, hardcore feminist route, things along those lines, that's fine in a lot of movies.
That doesn't bother me.
It anything that I feel like takes away from the character of the movie bothers me.
Well, I don't feel like it did.
I don't feel like it did in that movie, but I just felt like that was kind of the direction they were going. I think that's definitely the direction they're going with the upcoming movies.
I definitely felt that way with Star Wars when they did Rey.
Yes.
I felt like that took away from the movie. I don't think having Captain Marvel portrayed as a woman.
But you have to realize. We talked even about this. Captain Marvel at the end. That whole movie just appearing just kind of out of nowhere.
You're talking about it
changed the whole
Infinity War.
Yeah, it kind of changed Endgame and all of that because they had to lower her character down because they made her so strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I kind of feel like with that, I kind of feel like you're right. Marvel's probably going to go down a downturn. I'm excited about the Robert Pattinson one where, the Batman with DC. I feel like DC's going this way, and
that's because DC's not going to sell out to Disney.
No.
So
Disney is too ingrained in trying to please the Twitter crowd more than what they are trying to make good movies at this point. I believe that. I think they hit a gym with the MCU, and I thought they did decent with it, but you could also see where it was kind of
I think where Disney messed up was when they took it away from making movies for kids to try to make all kinds of movies, but yet still keep it for kids at the same time. So they started jacking with stuff that didn't need to be jacked with.
Yes.
But we're way off topic here.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't because, there's no way that you can really do a Chadwick Boseman thing without really talking about, Marvel, Black Panther and Marvel and Disney and all that.
But
let's just hope Disney doesn't ruin that character.
I said earlier, I hope they don't. He'll be missed for sure, but he'll be remembered.
Yeah, and I'm really there's few. Usually when an actor dies, I'll usually scroll through and be like, well, that's it. But when he died, I had to sit there and just think, oh man,
what's gonna happen?
It hurts because especially now that I'm older and I start, we all kind of come to terms with our own,
He was like 7 years older than me.
Yeah, and it and it kind of brings the thing up. Wow, life is so short, and that man accomplished so much in his life, and
and he's going to affect generations to come because like I said earlier, when we go to teach Stevie and Jensen about Jackie Robinson, it's going to be him that we show. We're showing them the comics and we're teaching them the Black Panther side of it. It's going to be him we show.
Black Panther is no longer a background character because of him. He is a formidable figure in the MCU.
I feel like Black Panther was fixing to try to become the face of
Marvel.
I
thought with Tony Stark gone, without a doubt it was going to be.
When Tony Stark went, I was Chadwick Boseman's fixing to be the face of Marvel, and I was
excited about that. I was too because don't get me wrong, Robert Downey Jr. he did a great job with Tony Stark. There's only so much I feel like you could kind of do with that Tony Stark character. There was so much more that could have been explored with Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
that I felt like would have been awesome if it would have been Chadwick Boseman that did it.
I'm probably gonna go home and watch it.
Me too.
Honestly.
So, anyways, guys, we're gonna get off here. We're probably gonna watch Black Panther. So if as always, guys, if y'all enjoy our videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content. We're on the road to 1,000, and
if there's any videos you might want us to do, make sure to leave them in the comment box down below. If you subscribe, please subscribe. But if you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell so you'll know when we're coming back around. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
22 minutes.